Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm the lead developer at Bite Bomb Studios. Today I'll be working on some level design on Mercs. This is all new content that you haven't seen. Our stream is going to begin in about 4 minutes, so this is kind of the pre-stream. So yeah, today I'm just going to be working on one of the mutant dens. This is an area that players are going to have to go in and decimate some of the mutant numbers. Plays a big part into the main gameplay mechanics of the game. But yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes and then I'll get started. Put on some lobby music. This is all music that I've purchased. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Swords and Ravens. Again, if you guys have any questions about development or the process or what's going on with the game, by all means, ask away and I will answer as I'm working. Right now I'm just doing some notes, things I want to touch on and kind of get to over the stream. What I want to achieve out of this level design by the time we're done. Still got a couple more minutes and then I'll get going. Yeah, no worries, man. Lurk away. Alright, it's about time to get going. So I was doing a stream yesterday and it didn't actually record on me, so I was kind of disappointed. This is where I started off with the Mutant Den. It's not supposed to be a very massive map. It's just supposed to be enough to keep the players going. It's a little bit enough to like explore and pique their interests. Probably about 20-30 minutes worth of gameplay I'm hoping for. Maybe. That's pushing it. It all depends on how my AI can keep the players busy. But that's a whole other topic for later. Alright. So, that guy's a little bit too big for what I want. Yeah, something like that. Get him going right there. Still got to do a little bit of virtual texturing. That way it blends in nicely with each other. But it's a start. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Gamer YYC. Appreciate that. Blue mushrooms? Yeah, I do have those. Let me, just got to go through some of my content. I can start pulling them out. Well, it's not really blue. They kind of have a missive blue on them. But they're a different color. Let me go into my assets. So I kind of have these guys right here. Kind of have the emissive blue on them. Is that what you were referring to? Nice. That just means he's going to be away from the keyboard, coming back every now and then. Hey, Justin, welcome to the chat. I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you? Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off and then bring it down another level. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have it taper back down to... No, not here. down to here so players can find their way out. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then slowly taper it up. Yeah, that's going to look good. So let's get some of this going. Let's bring this guy down here. Oh yeah, I definitely can have a little pond down here or something. Maybe like an acidic pool. Something so when the players jump in, they can actually environmental hazards and whatnot they have to be aware of. I do like that. Thank you for that idea. Pink slime. Now. So I got a lot of issues right here that I got to cover up. But I want it to be more cave-like down here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this guy on the side. We're going to get our perimeter set up. I also want to cut off. There we go. And then start off with that. So we're getting there. So I got a little bit of a hole here that I gotta fix. Whoops. Have a bad habit of doing that. I bring up my hotkey bar. Okay, sounds good. Gamer YYC. Nope, still gonna have the issue with that guy. There we go. Scale this guy up uniformly. Let's go 2.5 and see what that works. Maybe a little bit larger. Let's bring that up to 3.5. There we go. Now I should be able to fill that hole just nicely. Oh, the fix that I was talking about, it's because, so if I hide these two, it's because I have certain meshes that don't have, they're not fully enclosed. So you're going to see right through them and underneath. See, I can see the top, but if I come over here, I can't see below. So I got to make sure the players can't see any of that. There we go. It's looking pretty good. I got to cover up some of these holes right here. I think I actually have a perfect spot for a little bit of a waterfall. But hopefully I can get that to that tonight. That'd be nice. And then, oops, reset that. Sorry about that. Bad habit of doing that. Let's see what I'm doing. So I use my hotkey to turn the lighting off so I can just see exactly where my holes are. And I still have one hole right here and right there. And bring that forward a little bit. I'm actually going to scale this guy up. And then bring it back just like that. And see, I still have a little bit of a gap there, so I'm going to bring them up. Hopefully that covers it. Yeah, that does. That actually looks really good. And if I go to lighting only, that looks perfect. I like the rock formations, the way it's breaking up. So I got a little bit of a hole here that's going to cause issues during gameplay, so I'm just going to cover that up right there, just like that. Again, keep doing that. Got to stay away from that hockey. And then bring in a little bit more clutter off the sides. That might be a little bit too open here, so I think what I'm going to do is take one of these guys, rip them upside down. There we go. Scale them right down to maybe 0.25. Again, I keep doing that. You know what? If I'm going to do that, I might as well just do this. So I'm going to select my next rock. I'm actually going to replace that guy right there. And I don't like that. 0.25 is a little too much. I'm going to actually drag it down. There you go. I think that breaks it up a little bit. I like it. What do you guys think? I should probably continue it the rest of the way in here. I think that would look really good. Let me know in the comments. I got a little bit. Just so I can see what's going on a little bit better. I think that looks good. Let's get some more breakage of the ground because we got all these little ground meshes that we can break up the ground with. Drag it in. Actually, I shouldn't have deleted that light. Should have kept it so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. That looks a little bit more natural. Although I'm not too happy with these guys. They need to be a little bit... There we go. Wow, that one looks a lot better. I like that. Technically, yeah, I do. I do have something over here. So... issue right here. That guy's a little bit too small. Now, the original goal was to have the players... Well, let me pause my music. The original goal was to have the players come over here and then have to climb up here and then kind of have to do a series of jumps and climbs and like to try and get over to this area, and then they're going to wrap around and kind of follow the path. That was my idea for this. And then if they fall down here, they're kind of stuck into a even bigger pit of mutants that they have to now deal with. That was my idea. And I think I'm going to try that out. Let's see if I can grab some of my ledge cliffs, like these guys right here, which would work perfect. Because that would be... I think that would be a challenging jump. But I have to kind of do it mathematically. So, let me switch over to my top view. Frame over to here. It's going to be hard to see because I do believe... Oh yeah, this is way too hard to see. Lit. There we go. So I can see it's about 900. That might actually be too much. I think our jump distance is around 600. So if I keep it just out of reach, our ledge climbing mechanics should be able to grab that. I'm going to actually test that. So let's go back down to our perspective. And I'm actually just going to save my project right here and then just play from here. So players should be able to step up here. And then they should be able to do this jump. Yep. That's... Oh, nope. Okay, I got to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer, and then I'm going to test from here. So theoretically, players should be able to jump. It's not bad, not what I was looking for. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this rock a little bit, and then drag it a little bit lower. But I'm going to drag it out of the way. I'm going to try that. See if that works. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Except I think I'm going to be a little bit devious. I'm going to put something over here for players to get. That way, what is that? Hold on, can I raise that? Can a little bit. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I also don't want players to be able to run from here and be able to jump onto that, which they should not be able to. So theoretically, I might be able to make that jump. Okay, let's try. And then that one is way too far. I won't even get close on that one. So I gotta have it in between. So I make about halfway. I don't quite want to force players down here until it's a last resort, because I kind of want to tease them a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something over here so they have to jump here, here, and then go. I think that's a better idea. But probably not that. Something like that would be good. But I would have to bring this out a little bit. And then check our distance. Because that's a tiny gap, that's a larger gap. That's an even worse gap. So I'm probably going to have something like that. Might work. I'm trying to think. If we run from here, that should be high enough. Just to be safe. Just want to make sure that edge gets covered, because I don't want people to see underneath the rock. Okay, now let's try that. Oh no, I messed it up. Bring it back a little bit, a smidge, so we can actually get to that rock. Oh no, I really messed it up. There we go. Oh yeah, there's no way I'm getting over there. Or to here. So our next thing would be to create something where the players can climb up to run and jump either this way and force players there to there, or have players choose to go down here. Like so. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to force the players to go up. But I think so. I don't think if I run. So I think players jump this way, and then we still need to get them. Kind of designing myself into a corner right now. I don't think that's going to work. I think what will is actually just having this like so. that up here like this. And then I think what would be good is bringing this out and skinny that up a little bit. Have it go straight to the ground. Have it come out just a little bit. That way we block the view and we make this all worthwhile, because I don't want players to be able to jump over to here. I want them to be able to go right here and then jump down to here. That's the whole reason why I added the climbing mechanics, is so we can have climbing puzzles. Just like one of my favorite games was Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, and that's actually something they had in their game. A lot of it was these jumping puzzles that were just random paths within the map that players had to go around and figure out themselves. And sometimes it got so complex, you were just running around. You're like, oh my gosh, where does this go? And then you're just having a blast. You spend half an hour running around thinking you found something. And meanwhile, you did. Sometimes you just fall right off the map and then you just laugh. You'd be like, well, I guess that shouldn't have happened. Oh, okay, that's an issue. Okay, so where's a good point of entry on this rock? It's got to be right here. No. So I think for all intents and purposes, I'm going to flatten this rock a little bit. Same thing with this guy. I'll flatten it, bring it down. Kind of angle it down, actually. That should get us where we want to. Oh, that was cool. Okay, now, the moment of truth. Can I make that jump? At least to grab a ledge. No. But I can guarantee I could probably just climb this. Mostly. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take one of these guys. And I'm going to take a smaller version of it. I'm going to shrink it down to a nice little platform. It's going to stick out just like that. That should be enough. Should be just enough so we can get by. So we got that. That's under wraps. We're able to jump up there. Perfect. We're able to climb up here. And can we make it? Oh, maybe if I knew how to jump. But I don't think this rock is sticking out even further. I think it needs to stick out a little bit further and kind of be angled. So we can get a better jump. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. There we go. All right, moment of truth. Well, we face planted, but we made it. Now this one's actually probably going to be a little bit too much. Trying to think what the best course of action on this one is. Might just have to extend the rock out that way. But we'll see. Oh, didn't even get a chance to jump at it. I ran right off. But I think it needs to go out a little bit so we can cover that distance. And I can probably taper that in just a little bit. Squeeze that in. And then I'll try it from here again. So that's perfect. The only thing is my character doesn't have strength in his legs. That's an actual ability that I'm going to be adding to the game, where players can upgrade their strength in certain aspects, so when they fall, they're not going to go into ragdoll. They can actually roll out of it like so. Did it again. Maybe that rock needs to go up a little bit more. And I'll try from there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. That was like almost a perfect jump. So that makes that jump pretty difficult. Okay. And then we can just climb over these. But and then, yeah. I definitely got to even some of this terrain out. Or these rocks. Kind of give players a little bit better of a path, an even path. And the AI as well. I gotta take that into consideration. Because the more jagged the path is and the harder for it to stay on its nav mesh, it's going to be a lot harder for the AI to keep up. Actually, speaking of which, let me jump into full screen mode. That's cool because we got... And then... Yeah, it won't even detect up here. If I go down here... Oh, I need to rebuild nav mesh. That's why. That's why my AI isn't working. I built this little spawn code last stream. Alright, I'm liking how that's looking. And I still wonder if I still have access. Because I want players to have access down here as well. Oh, that's perfect. So, for normal players who haven't upgraded their ability, there's definitely going to be some fall damage on this. But I'll definitely be able to give that back. Okay, just going to build some paths. Our nav mesh is building pretty good, so I'm liking that. Now I don't have the stuff set up to... Well, I'm not setting up the nav links right now. The name for the game? Gamer YYC? Well, the game originally started out as more of like a Call of Duty-esque kind of game where I was like all military, and that was my initial idea with it. So like it was all based off mercenaries. And then I wanted players to be able to have these huge arsenals that go with their merc, but not be limited to just like 3 or 4 weapons. I want them to have a whole arsenal. And, you know, I just thought Mercs Fully Loaded was the perfect name. I spent like a day spitballing it, and it came up to a perfect name with Mercs Fully Loaded. If I remember correctly, my first logo, it was like Mercs Fully Loaded, and then there was like a pile of ammo and weapons on top of each other in like a pyramid. But it was cool. The way I made that logo is I did a physics simulation on all these weapons and assets I had in game. And then Yeah, I just took a screenshot, not a screenshot, but took a render of it in the Unreal Engine. And yeah, that's how I made the first logo. I can probably bring it up. Let me jump over to my logos. And let me switch the capture. Yeah, so that is the original logo. And everything you see there was pretty much done either in Photoshop, and all the weapons and the way they're staged, that was all done in Unreal Engine through a physics simulation. But my wife was there, and she was the one helping me with the Mercs logo and all that other stuff. She was always there giving me input. So I'm liking how that's working. I'm wondering how good the AI is going to spawn down here. So let me get some gameplay going. Oh, they're not even spawning. There we go. Got a couple bogeys. Kind of want some more. See if they can. There we go. Now we got some AI. Yes, she does. She handles all the business admin side of Bite Bomb Studios. And I do all the game development stuff. And, well, she helps out with a lot of the story, too. She's a really good story writer. I also got some friends on here as well. Sir Justin Lyon, he's a story writer, as well as Swords and Ravens. He is also one of our story writers through various different projects. I think this area is kind of bare. I need a little bit more going on in here. Break it up. Something like that's going to break that little corner up. Oop. Did it again. Always doing that. Break these up a little bit. All right. So how are we going to get up to here? We're going to have to get players to jump out of this. I think so. I think having something really cool here, like something like this over here. And then when those stalagmites, those large rocks are in the middle, get players to run around. I think that would be a good idea. And then have to, yeah, I think they're going to have to run and jump around to get back up. Yeah, I think that's going to look nice. So, I'm just going to get everything placed where I think it might be good. And then we're going to play test. And I think Gamer YYC might be onto something, because I might put an acidic pool or something here for stream. I think that would be pretty cool. But I'm going to have to block that off if I'm going to do that. And yeah, I definitely can't have it there. What I can do is I can block that off a little bit and have a stagnating acid pool right here. Turn off my detail lighting so we can get a good look at what's going on. That's got to go up just a bit, just a hair. Something like that. And then I think what I'll do is I'll have it open up. Have it open up to an actual acid pool. I think that'd be cool. And then put some like cool fog over here. And then cut it off. I think that'd be cool. And then if players are strong enough, they might be able to withstand some of the acid and get over to the other side. I think something like that would be cool. Alright. So that's looking good. I like that. Oh, not so much there. But I'm going to fix that real quick. Something like that. And then, well, if that's still being exposed, might as well hide it. Hide it with a rock. Okay, that's looking good. I like that. This other end, on the other hand, I'm just going to do that. Kind of blends in nice. Yeah, I like that. I still have to cover this guy up right here. So I might get rid of that other low rock. In fact, actually I don't need to. I don't need to get rid of that one. It works pretty good for it. Yeah, I like that. I can't remember what it... Oh, right. I forgot about that. I don't want to use that same rock, so I'm going to use this guy right here. Yeah, something like that. Because I do have a little piece over here that I'm working on as well. Once I get the perimeters and the layout going, then I can start messing around with lighting and start doing foliage. There's still quite a bit. And then optimization. And then proper spawn points for the AI. That's another thing that I have to touch on. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cheat a little bit. I'm going to bring this up and drag that from there. And I'm going to turn on that. But my degree snapping needs to actually turn off. No. Alright. Come on. I need a new mouse. My middle mouse button. There it goes. There we go. Something like that. And then something like that would be cool. Think so. I think what I gotta have to do, because that's on one side, again, gonna have to bring these down a little bit. Yeah, just like that. And then fill this in again. Something like that. Although I'm not too happy with this, so I'm just going to drag that guy down a little bit. Still some edges. There we go. Keeps it nice and open. A nice little cave. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then what are we going to do over here? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these. And I'm going to kind of not rotate them, but I'm going to mirror them in that direction. Do something like this. And then I think I need one more. I'm gonna see if I have a different one. Kind of mix it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Something like that. Kind of taper it in. And then back into itself a little bit. Yeah, so something like that. We got a double tier kind of system going on. And then what I can do is drag that up like that. two different levels, so these are two different levels, so I gotta make sure everything fits nice and snug. And then I gotta do a little bit of cover up on each side. It's a little bit time consuming, but overall the finished product should be worth it. At least I think. Yeah, something like that. Merge this guy over here. Goal is to kind of blend in the ground, get a nice ground going, and then start layering more stuff onto it. Splitting everything up as needed. Very cool. Not too happy with that. So I'm going to drag it down a little bit. Up, down, so it blends in together. I think I have a couple different ground meshes that I can use too. Because yeah, I'm not too enthusiastic about this right now. Unless I can get it to blend a certain way. And you know what? Might as well add a little bit more depth to it. There we go. This one too. Again, I'm going to have these little holes that I'm going to have to fill in, but that's no biggie. I'm liking that. Not so much that, but I can fix that real quick. I've got a couple other different type of ground meshes that I can use to fix that. So something like that. Maybe something like that over there, like so. I think that'd be good, but I gotta really play test to see how well that looks. It doesn't look that great. It's a little too high for my liking, so I'm going to bring it down. It's a little bit smoother of a transition. Ah, yes. I forgot to put my music back on. Let's see. There we go. I think I should taper this down, or scale this down on the z-axis just a little bit. I don't want too much. I want enough of an overlap. Still a couple issues, but slowly solve this. Once this is done, we can move on to different areas. So that's something I'd like to do right here. Drag that guy out. I think that's looking good. I could bring this guy over here, but then we're having issues with this. Okay. What I can do to solve that, I think it would be easier if I just place a couple rocks. Place a couple rocks, put it in the ground, drag it up. Something like that. Let's get this guy right here. Coming together. Slowly but surely it's coming together. I like it. See, it's nice when I'm covering ground like this, trying to put together where the player's going to be walking, and I like to fill my holes as I go, because it's pretty easy to get distracted when you're working and then you miss it, and then you have a player fall through and they are mad because you never know where they are in their game, where they're going to be, or how much progress they've had, and the last thing you want to do is take that away. Something I don't want to do, so I'm working towards filling all the holes and making it look nice at the same time. Oh, I got a huge issue right here where it splits, but that's not a big problem. I'm gonna actually take this guy right here, scale that up, something like that, and then kind of fill it in. And it looks like it's meant to be. I think for the rest, I'm gonna actually have a different type of rock because it is thinner over here. I think something like this where players have to walk across. A little bit more justified for the rest. I would have done it through the rest, but I kind of like the mix between the two, the colors. And I don't always want players to have to run over just rocks. Because again, it's very difficult for AI to run across that unless I've hard-coded it, which in some cases I have. If the AI can't catch players during a certain distance or a certain time, they're able to do certain actions like jump, and then eventually if they get stuck, they can teleport out of their way as long as the players aren't looking. So, yeah, I like that. Yeah, there is. I can actually set up data tests and have an AI run around and do whatever they can. So I can actually simulate it. And then if certain AI fall through, it'll actually flag it. So if they fall through, it can actually document and kind of trace where the AI goes. Or I could do like a simple line trace on them. So at all times, if they're tracing down and then suddenly they have nothing down, it'll report back, and then it'll leave kind of like a tag where I can go see visually. So there's a lot of ways around it. But me, preferably, I like to play test. I know it's not the most efficient way of doing things, but at least assures me that I'm doing things right on my end. Now, I should be automating it because I already have enough tasks to last me a lifetime. But at the moment, I haven't automated it. I have, on the other hand, automated my... let me save it. I've automated my optimization. So let me select all static mesh actors, tag, then literally all I have to do is type in here, HISM stands for hierarchical instant static mesh, and I actually have a really cool component, if I can find it, right here. I've attached it to my... oh, where'd it go? Instance replacer. So theoretically, this should place all my static meshes, as you can tell. So right now, the whole world is one static mesh, which is pretty cool. But so I go from being able to select everything to not. But I didn't want to do that because I like doing that in game. So let me reload this. Now I have all my stack meshes back in. Yeah, Halo 2 had a lot of issues with players falling through the map and whatnot. But I do believe they didn't have as advanced technology like we got and problem-solving techniques, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with behavior trees and the way they work to be able to problem-solve that one real quick. Which doesn't make any sense that they didn't, because they were the ones to come out with behavior trees early on and really stress test them. Yeah, that's true. Q&A on a big company like Bungie was, oh man, that's pretty... Their stress testing and their game testing is pretty crazy. There's a lot to be done, and so they're under tight deadlines and they're trying to find bugs, and then they're possibly racing against the clock. Yeah, that's exactly why they develop stuff like that. So drag that up a little bit. So like you'll notice even stuff like this, I got little tiny holes everywhere. I just gotta fill. Am I gonna catch every single one? Probably not, but it's gonna get to the point where no player's gonna be able to fall through. All right, have fun, buddy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to taper these down. So I'm going to step them out. As if I am doing a nice little cool river down here of acid. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be good. And then I think I'm going to do one more right here. Just something like that. But I kind of want it the other way. Yeah, just like that guy. Just like that, like so. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think I'm just going to do something like this. And I'm just going to give it a quick play test. Just to see how everything's looking, get the feel for it. Can I kind of cheat? Because I don't really want players to be able to have access to up here. Unless they made it through my little jumping puzzle. I think they should be good. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to climb up here. Definitely got to break all this flat ground up. Get more obstacles set up. It's definitely something I'm looking at right now. So I'm liking it. And I'm going to go ragdoll. Here's where I usually have issues, is my capsule clips through the ground. Been trying to stop that for some time now. But I find it happens on weird angles with collisions and rocks. So like when I can pinpoint exactly when it's happening is when I can actually stop it. If I understand which angles and how it's working. But luckily so far I haven't had that issue. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's not bad. That's not bad. There's enough open space as long as I break up the ground level and make it a little bit more interesting. I think that would be good. It's big enough is what I want, so we get a little bit of gameplay. The enemies are going to be strategically spawned in. But I think we're on the right path. And then we got to give players access up here somehow. I think what we should do is have some skill jumps over here, or maybe like a cool little bridge. Oh, I just saw that. Definitely do not want to see that. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit. And I'm going to place a couple rocks. Kind of cover that up. Alright. So that's good. That's good right there. Now I could definitely use splitting some of this. Some of this up. Giving back to the players somehow. So how am I going to get back to the players? So I want players to be able to explore the way they want to and they see fit. So I'd like to have a bunch of jumping puzzles around here that kind of can keep the players occupied. As well as think, oh, is there treasure up there? Is there maybe something? Because you never know. And that's what I want players to think. But I don't think I'm going to manually place anything. I think I'm going to have it randomly spawn. I'm just going to do a quick spawning algorithm, I think, when the time comes. And then have the game world decide when and where they should spawn. But giving players access to certain areas, I think, is a good idea. Instead of just challenging them on the ground, being able to challenge them in the air. Because there's some cool stuff I can get the AI to do right now, like jump between platforms and kind of chase after the player endlessly. And that's the whole point of mutants in Mercs. They're not meant to back down. They are an all-in mentality. They are an all or nothing. You're either there or you're not. They either have an enemy or they don't. And if they don't, well, they don't really have much of a purpose. Because their purpose as mutants is to hunt the player and humans. I think I'm going to do something cool like this. Something like that. Then I could definitely have AI kind of hiding around here. I think that'd be cool. And then something like that. And then definitely gotta have something over here for players. But I think I want to have it more of an angle to kind of give players the illusion. So when they're jumping over here, yeah, I think something like that. Shorten the rock up. And then have it taper, or not taper, kind of go around the cliff until the players can get up there. And I think something like that is going to do. Yeah, something like that. I think something like that would work. I'm going to test it out. Let's see if I can even climb up here. Oh yeah, so far pretty good. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping for players to be able to just run up there, but it's not as flat as I thought it was. And I don't really want players to struggle this much or have to do this. I want players to be able to make it up there a little bit easier. Just a little bit. And then, yeah, climbing. Climbing's no problem. That's perfect. And then now we have access to the top. But what's cool is, if you're running away from mutants, they will also have that access. And then, I think having the cave end, and then you have like little cave end over here where it shows, and then like a stream of acid, like a pool of acid wrapping the whole thing. I think that would be cool. Really add to the cave effect. Oh, also don't mind that it's open right now, because that's a whole nother part, is adding the top layer where it spans down, and then you got your cave, and then the actual interior lighting. Like, there's a whole lot that goes with this. But having players be able to traverse from this side to that side, that's where I want to be. Because realistically, if players traverse through here and they're running around, they're going to be coming around, and I think another jumping puzzle where they have to like jump up and around, and then have like a little mutant area. Kind of intercepts the player, kind of bombards them, and then Yeah, I think that'd be cool. But that's how big our player is. That's how big the map is for one of the mutant ends. Still a little bit to go, but we're getting there. Oh, there we go. That could have been bad. Easily. See? He's stuck. Oh, okay. Then definitely gonna have to fix that. Oh, too funny. Now my character's actually stuck, so we can't have stuff like that either. So I gotta be careful on how I'm doing my corners. See, because something like that where they're converging into each other, it's just asking for problems. So what I'm going to do on that one is I'm actually going to drag this out here like that, so we don't have that issue anymore. Because theoretically, the player should not be able to fall down there and get themselves stuck like we did before. And yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm going to drag that down a little bit because I don't want too much of an elevation change on it. But it's looking pretty good. I like it. I think what would be good, definitely want players to explore and jump around and run around. That's a huge one, like I was saying earlier. So definitely want to encourage that. Because I want there to be stuff players can miss. Just because they're not quite thinking about it. And be like, oh. Because I really want to reward exploration. Any type of exploration I want to reward. I'm not quite happy with that rock. I am happy with that guy right there, though. And we're going to go something like that. That's looking good. Ooh, I definitely got to cover that up and what we got going here. So let me jump back into our lighting mode and get some light in here. Get out of full screen. Drag this guy up. I'm gonna drag him up and then drag my attenuation radius up so we can actually see what we're working with. And yeah, I'm gonna start covering this up and then I can put stalagmites up there. Something like that. And then, yeah, just like that. Let's take a look from up top. We're not protruding. We're not changing our elevation or anything. And it's looking good. I like it. So let's go back down here. And then we gotta start adding some more of these guys. Start breaking this up. Because it is kind of boring down here just as is. It's pretty cool, but you know what? Drag that guy up. scale them out. Oops. Drag them down a little bit. Something like that. Something like that. And then I definitely gotta have one over here. Definitely gotta have one over here. Rotate a little bit more. Get it pointing in the right direction. Some players come around. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I like that. It's not overkill, but it's just enough. And then theoretically, if I select all static mesh actors and then go to tag, and then when I hit play, yeah, so we're getting pretty good frames. That's with even me doing the streaming and whatnot. And I got the editor going, and I'm pretty happy with that. We get a lot of polygons actually in the scene right now. If I bring up my scene rendering, which is pretty high, our draw calls are actually pretty low. What it's actually doing in real time is converting everything to instances. So we only have 56 draw calls. So that's pretty good on the technical side. Can't get any better than that. Now, playtesting an engine is always a lot more, it's a lot more strenuous because there's all the profiling and the actual editor itself. Usually in game, I should be hitting around 13 milliseconds, which is under 13 to 10. Or actually 10 to 13 would be a good range. But I'm also using global illumination, lumen. So it all depends on your settings too. I'm only playing on high. So I think for tonight, this is where I'm actually going to stop the stream. I am actually pretty tired. So, yeah. I'm going to pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do a stream, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plan out some notes, and then we're going to finish this level off tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to do like a 3-hour stream. So, yeah. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I look forward to for you guys to join my next stream. Thank you.